Welcome to DITV's NFL Recap. I'm your host, Tanner Desplink. With the first day of the NFL's 2019 season starting today, so much has already happened in free agency. Starting on the West Coast, we head to Oakland. Wait, they're still in Oakland? With this gamble of a trade, you'd think they're already in Vegas. Anyhow, the Pittsburgh Steelers traded Antonio Brown to the Raiders for a 2019 third and fifth round pick. Brown signed with the Raiders a 3-year contract worth over $50 million. I feel like this is a big gamble that Oakland probably should not have made, as they could be using this money to help rebuild for the future. But hey, what do I know? I think Pittsburgh and Brown both won in this situation. I mean, I believe the Steelers could have gotten more out of Brown, but it doesn't matter. As this gets rid of his toxic energy, and they have another top receiver in Smith-Schuster. As for Brown, he is out of Pittsburgh. I mean, who would want to live in Pittsburgh anyway? And his contract has $30 million guaranteed. This has me thinking, if I complain a little bit more, I can get a raise and go somewhere warm. Next out in Cleveland, where I'm still convinced there is no football team, the Browns are now rumored to be a Super Bowl contender after this trade with New York Giants. The Giants traded Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns for a first and third round pick plus safety Jabril Peppers. Honestly, I feel like Cleveland walked away from this like a fat kid in the candy store. Beckham is one of the top young players in the NFL right now, and the Giants gave him away for what exactly? Nothing that at least seems significant. If they were worried about the safety position, they should have re-signed their Pro Bowl caliber safety Landon Collins. I understand what they may be doing, trying to rebuild their program, but they lost arguably their two best players. I feel like OBJ and Browns won this, as OBJ got what he wanted and got out of New York, and now has a young quarterback who will be willing to throw to him. I don't have to say why the Browns won this, as OBJ could be said to be a top 3 receiver in the NFL right now, and they got him from the Giants for nothing. Sticking with teams looking to rebuild, we head to Jacksonville, where they dish out a load of money for a subpar quarterback. Last year was Blake Bortles, but this year the Jaguars signed a deal with Super Bowl 52 MVP Nick Foles. Foles signed a 4-year contract with Jacksonville worth $88 million. That is crazy, as they are basing this money off of his last 2 seasons playing football as a backup for the Eagles. Like, for real, Jacksonville? This is how you're trying to get to the Super Bowl? I understand Bortles is not the QB you wanted him to be, but you think replacing him with Foles will be much better? This is all crazy to think about, as just a couple years ago, they were in the AFC Championship, and now they have to manage to turn themselves, they've managed to turn themselves into a laughingstock again. Don't get me wrong, I like Nick Foles as a player, and I think he can do great things, but I do not believe he is worth the amount of money, especially when you could have used it elsewhere to get a rookie QB this year. Lastly, we head to Kansas City, where if you're a Chiefs fan, you're probably upset. I know I am. I figured the Chiefs would be focusing on the one thing that kept them out of the Super Bowl: defense. I mean, they are, but not in a good way. First, they signed safety Tyrann the Honey Badger Mathieu to a 3-year deal worth $42 million, which, hey, at first, I thought it wasn't a bad idea, until the moment where they got rid of their 3 best defensive players. The Chiefs are likely to trade outside linebacker D Ford for a measly 2nd-round pick to the 49ers. And they released both Justin Houston and Eric Berry, both players that have been amongst the top best players on the KC's defense. As a fan, I really hope this all works out for the Chiefs, or else they'll have a bunch of angry fans storming the front offices of Arrowhead, including me. That's all for me this week. I'll see you guys next time.